Well, folks, welcome to a new edition of Simply Being Shipley Cigar and Pipe. We're going to right some wrongs on this video because the pipe part of the name has been there for a long time, but we haven't done any pipe review videos. We also haven't done a history video in a long time, not since the Gurkha history, which is a really fun video. I recommend you go take a look at that. But today, we're going to go, not only are we going to talk about some pipes, but we're going to go into the history of Nording Pipes. This is one of them here. So this is a freehand, bulldog shape, no extra adornments, but there is something very special about this pipe, this particular one, that you're going to see at the end of the video. So if you make it that long, you're going to be in for a treat about this particular pipe. Okay, now on pipes, oh, that one almost went out. I just lit it and didn't keep going on it. But anyway, on regard to pipes, there's two pipes that are my personal favorites, and I haven't experienced a whole bunch yet, but my favorites so far are the Nordings and the Petersons. Speaking of Peterson, today we're also trying a new tobacco. This is by Peterson. It is the Sherlock Holmes. Let's see what it says about it. This is a mixture of an old Irish recipe crafted and traced all the way back to 1889. It's one of the finest tobaccos smoked in the time of Sherlock Holmes. Straight Virginia, possesses all the flavor associated with premier Virginia tobacco. This is a strength 4, aromatic taste 4, and room note 3. We'll get into those ratings on another video. There we go. That's the right volume of smoke to be having. Excellent. So this is going to be, I don't know, approximately 30 minutes is what I'm guessing to do this whole presentation. We're going to start out talking about the history, and then we're going to get into a sampling of the, I don't know, hundreds of pipes that Nordic is currently producing. Famous for being one of the first producers to ever start using briar, which is the go-to now. Very creative. He's got an engineering background, which you'll see more of in the video, which leads to the intensity of his pipes. And I would say quite a few, if not most, of the greatest pipe makers out there today have trained in the Nording factory. So I think you'll really enjoy this video if you are interested in pipes. Hello folks, welcome out to another episode of Simply Being Shipley Cigar and Pipe. Today we're going to be doing our second history piece, and this is about Nording Pipes. Now the name of the channel is Cigar and Pipe, and we have completely ignored the pipe part of that. So I want to show you some fascinating things in the realm of pipes, and we're going to talk in particular this point of Erik Nording and his influence on the entire pipe culture. So thanks for coming along on this journey, and let's get right into it. Now, the story of the most prolific designer of custom pipes of the Nording Pipe Company begins with its founder, Erik Nording. Nording was born in Copenhagen, Denmark, and was educated in the field of engineering. At the age of 15, Nording began his work as a blacksmith, and he didn't have any plans of becoming a pipe maker. Pipes started off as a hobby before they became a passion. His father was both an engineer and blacksmith himself and owned several factories. He was a longtime pipe smoker and shared this recreation with his son Erik. The beauty, the rituals of tobacco, breaking it up, packing the pipe, sitting back and relaxing with the smoke, they were all very appealing to Erik. Unfortunately, his father passed when he was only 16 years old. Now, Erik was expected to take over the family business once he finished college. And in general, as a side note, his mom did not see the future and did not really support Erik smoking pipes. Well, all that changes when, as he approaches the end of his college years, Erik decided to go into the world of pipe making. The art of it fascinated him. Nording had a small collection of pipes, and he would often take them to a repair shop in Copenhagen, owned by W.O. Larsen. There he met Skovbo, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Skovbo, the man who performed these repairs. This gentleman expressed his interest to Erik in opening his own pipe manufacturing business, and knowing Erik's knowledge of engineering, he asked Erik to make the pipe creating machines for him. Now, Erik agreed, and he borrowed $200, which was a lot of money at that time, from his mom to get the equipment and the parts that he would need to begin this venture. These machines, once they were completed, however, Skovbo was broke and had no money to pay for them. It was a very awkward position that our guy Erik was in. Well, he asked Erik to let him pay for the machines once his pipe business took off, and of course Erik didn't like that arrangement, and he didn't want to wait, so he decided that he'd rather just keep the equipment and make the pipes himself. After some negotiating, the two men decided to go into business together, and in 1963, Sun Pipes was born while Erik was still in college. Sun Pipes is a combination of Skovbo and Nording's names. Skovbo was the person behind the designs of the pipes, while Erik and Skovbo both crafted them. The partnership didn't go so well, and Sun Pipes only lasted for a couple years. Erik wanted to carry on this pipe making company that he had put so much into, so he formed his own venture. Nording Pipes was born. There are a few Sun Pipes still around, but they're very hard to find, and they're relatively expensive. Now, to get his company started, Erik would go from pipe shop to pipe shop, asking if any customers were looking for unique freehand pipes to be made for them. And they did. There is a huge market for non-machined, well-crafted pipes that were unique. This target market brought great success to Nording and his brand. His brand quickly spread outside of Denmark, and in 1967 he hired his first employee. Most of the Nording pipes were freehand shapes with different grades. He would grade them off the briar, which, by the way, if you didn't know, Nording was one of the very first people to start making pipes out of briar, having discovered the great quality and characteristics of the wood. He would grade them off the briar, cut and end shape, which is a overall blank, and he would grade them on a scale of A through F, A grade being the best and F being the least best. For the last 40 years, Nording Pipes has been thriving in the industry. What started as a passionate hobby in the late 1950s has since evolved into a multi-generational business. Today, at the age of 84, Erik Nording has been making pipes professionally for more than 59 years. And what started as a passionate hobby in the late 1950s has since evolved into a multi-generational family business. Now, this last bit came from the Nording website, along with their ages. Now, Erik is still very much involved with the business, and he still produces a few handmade pipes himself. Nud Nording, Erik's son, is managing sales and marketing worldwide, and the third generation is now involved, and that's Victor, who is also involved in sales and marketing, along with Margarita Nording, which is Nud's wife. One of the greatest treasures that you can find is to realize that a pipe that you have in your collection was actually made by Erik himself. You see, he likes to sneak into the factory a couple times a year, according to legend, and he does a few pipes himself. He then puts his own unique signature stamp on these pipes, and they go out mixed into the regular shipments to the stores, unadorned, unidentified in any way other than this really tiny stamp. More on that later. Now let's get into taking a look at some of the pipes themselves. We're going to step into the world of Nording, and we're going to take a look at just a sampling of all his different styles that are currently available. One very special line in the Nording portfolio is the extras. This takes into account natural qualities of the burl and even uses pieces that most people would discard to bring out a very artistically crafted pipe. The next section or line to mention, I really love these pipes, are called the double silvers. And of course, that's because it has two silver bands. One's going to be on the shank itself and one on the pipe itself, and they are very decorative. These are hard to find, double silvers. Freehands make up another large portion of the available pipes from Nording. Each one is unique and really brings out the texture and flavor of the wood itself. Now, one of my very favorite lines is the Giants. These large pipes, again, are unique and typically have a base that allows the pipe to sit comfortably on its own, and it's very well balanced in its weight. You'll see it next to that spigot over there to kind of give you a size comparison. These things are massive. Now, some fun pipes. You have the nose warmers, which are small and powerful. They are big bowls up close to the face. Very, very, very comfortable in the hand. And you have the compasses, which embody sailor-style pipes and the traditions that go with those. There's a whole unique world behind sailor-style pipes, and Nording has really embraced that. Now, another hard-to-find group of pipes are the limited editions. What single these out is that they're often a contrast pipe of different textures on different sections of wood, as well as a contrast between flat surfaces and curved and rounded surfaces. Each one is an expression of the artist. Now, spigots are a whole category in pipes that you either love or hate typically. It's identified by the thinning of the mouthpiece before it connects with the briar. These pipes can be horn-shaped, flat bottoms, you name it. What defines them is the area that connects the mouthpiece to the pipe. Now, no one ever accused Erik of not wanting to have fun. What you see here are their shorty pipes. They're designed for a quick smoke, 20 minutes or less, about the same amount of time that a cigarette smoker would use, with these small porcelain bowls inside these fanciful surroundings that really make the pipe stand out. Something you can definitely have some fun with. Now, getting back into the more traditional, we have the cut pipes. There's a whole series of different types of pipes, very colorful shanks, but not shorty colorful, more traditional in colors, and engravings and cut lines on the briar itself. Now on to the most unique pipes. This is the 2023 hunting pipe inspired by the Black Swan. You see, every year Erik and company come out with a pipe that is strictly inspired by animals and by the hunting community. This beauty here is from 2001. It is called the Mallard. It is one of my favorite pipes. This is the 2019 White Rhino. Now, these design graphics here, which come from the Nording website, if you go there, you're going to see what these look like in color and in real life, so to speak. These pipes are amazing. I'm going to be picking up a White Rhino myself. And just to give you another pipe to take a peek at, here is the 2008 Woodcock, which is also a very popular hunting pipe. You can see all of the different pipes on the Nording website. This started in 1995, and every year he's come out with a special pipe. So go check those out when you have an opportunity. Now, I've owned a lot of Nording pipes over the years. I currently have 2 that I'm hanging on to. This is my 2016 Nording Freehand. Notice the simple bowl and the silver band. The bowl fits perfectly in my hand. It's one of my favorite pipes. As the pipe bowl itself heats up, those ridges are cool and the valleys that have been cut into the pipe are warmer, and it gives you a very unique feeling on your hand itself. Now, this is my Nording Handmade. It's a very simple, easygoing pipe. There's no fancy silver work on it. There's no fancy carving on it. The burl itself, though, the grain, is just amazing. And pictures don't do it justice. The burl just pops. This is a medium-sized bowl, giving you about an hour to hour and a half, depending on how you personally smoke the pipe. But I really love this pipe. Now, this is the shank of that pipe, or not the shank, but the stem of that pipe. Remember when we talked about Erik himself doing some pipes? Take a close look over here and you'll see that I have one. This was a handmade, and it was done by Erik Nording himself. I will always treasure this pipe. Ironically, I did not discover this stamp or realize the significance of it till I had had the pipe for about 2 years. Well, let's wrap things up. I really want to thank you for watching this video, and I hope that some of you are inspired to take a look into Nording and the pieces of art that they create on a daily basis. Without exception, I can tell you that every Nording pipe that I've ever owned has been incredible and amazing. Well, that's it for this episode of the history behind pipes and cigars, and I look forward to sharing more with you. See you on the next video.